Howdy.
Howdy. Well, how's your acclimation process going?
As the lone Yankee on the staff, this is about the hottest March I've had, early April. Everything's going fine. It's the trick when you come into a new situation like this, especially as a special teams coach, is not only am I getting to know the tight ends, but I have to get to know the whole roster. We try to do that without wearing ourselves out too much with last year's film because we want everybody to start with a clean slate. But, you know, it's a process. Got to get to know every position group on the team and try and figure out where guys fit best. And that's taken a little bit of time. But as every practice goes by, we feel like we're getting to know the team a little bit better. I'm more comfortable with who can do what and who guys are, and hopefully not screwing up too many names in the meetings. So it's getting better.
With trying to put in a whole new offense and new defense, how much time per practice are y'all spending on special teams right now?
Plenty. Kevin's been fantastic. Coach Sumlin's been fantastic. We've no complaints about the amount of meeting time that we have. Plenty of time on the field. And he, having been a former special teams coordinator himself, he understands that we're trying to get X amount of things done, and from time to time I might run a minute or two late, whereas a lot of head coaches would cut you off. You know, he's over there, he's in the drill, he knows what we're trying to get accomplished for the day. So, you know, one or two times we've run a minute or two over in a period, and he's been good enough to let us finish it because, you know, he's in the meetings, he's out there involved, so he knows what we're trying to get done. So it's been good that way. There are no complaints.
Because recruiting is such a big part of what you do, could you talk about your early impressions of being at a new SEC school, an hour from, you know, the fourth largest city in the nation and surrounded by some of the largest cities in the nation?
Well, my first impression of the recruiting has been I'm so thankful that my recruiting footprint is no longer the continental United States. I mean, I'm so tired of Marriott points and frequent flyer miles, you know, after 5 years at Notre Dame and 2 at Stanford. So to have all this talent within your home state, within very short flights or car rides away, is such an advantage, and it's something that I've not had now for 7 years. So to be a part of that's fantastic. To be able to separate ourselves from all the other schools in the state by being able to tell a young man, hey, you know, we're not playing Iowa State and Kansas State and Kansas. We're playing LSU, Auburn, and Florida. I mean, that's pretty powerful. That's a pretty powerful recruiting tool, and it's been a positive. And for one of the guys that, you know, there are a couple guys on the staff that have had experience in Texas recruiting but haven't made my living that way. Guys like David Beatty and Clarence McKinney and B.J. Anderson, those guys who have helped me get acclimated to recruiting in the state, that's been very helpful. And the coaches in the state, the high school coaches, are fantastic. They're so easy to deal with. As long as you're straightforward with them and you make the effort to reach out. You know, we made an effort as a staff to get on the phone and talk to as many guys as we could and see as many as we could in January, to get out in front of them and let them know that we were going to be engaged, especially in our home state, and the response has been fantastic. So far the recruiting experience has been really, really good, and anxious, you know, obviously focused on spring football right now, but excited to get out in the springtime. You know, me doing a lot of recruiting up north, you used to, where's the head football coach? Well, he's teaching English, come back at 3. And I found that at these 5A schools in Texas, that's not the case. You know, going back to the field house, he's waiting for you, coach. So that's been a really a nice surprise.
Those Marriotts aren't all bad, though, are they?
No, I just don't need to be in all 50 states in 1 year.
What have you seen so far out of Bertolini?
Little rough at the beginning, but that's to be expected. You know, in all the off-season stuff that we can do in terms of the conditioning with our football players, we can't have footballs out there. So while the other position groups are working on the athletic skills that they use to in their given positions, our guy can't hit footballs. So the reality of it is the first time I was able to work with him was the first day of spring practice, and there was some rust to shake off, but very pleased with what he did today. Went out, the operation times were very good. Every ball was hit cleanly. Nothing too long, but I think he ended up 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 today, all shorties, but we're more focused right now on operation and making sure the ball's hit cleanly, and there were significant strides made from practice 3 to practice 4, and we kicked off a little bit today, and he was fine. You know, he had a 30-mile-per-hour wind behind his back and the ball in the 35, but it jumped off his foot, so that was good.
How about punters? You got Kaiser and Epperson.
Both good guys. We gotta get them. We got a couple things that we need to work on. Each guy's got, one or two things that he's got to get straightened out, but pleased with what I've seen from both of those guys, and that should be a good competition, certainly this spring and probably into training camp before we decide who's going to be the guy. They're pretty comparable, and we need to get a pretty good body of evidence here before we even think about making a decision at the punting position.
That covered? All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.